Hey y'all, so I'm about to wrap up the last modification to this old Toyota motorhome. I'm gonna add a inverter generator to the thing so it can be dry camped or boondocked, and it's gonna live outside on the rear bumper or in a cabinet that's welded to the rear bumper. So I wanted to show you how I'm going to make that, and I'll have details about the generator that I chose in another video. Okay, so I'm about midway through this project almost. I've got basically the frame, the skeleton for this generator rack welded onto this tubular bumper back here. So the uprights are welded and the down braces are welded, and yeah, the thing is really stiff. So basically there's going to be a base on the bottom for the generator to sit on. Then the enclosure will be a hinged lid and a flap door on this side that'll probably swing one of these directions so you can get to the pull cord to start. Then there will be an exhaust vent on one side that's got kind of an angled port to push the exhaust rearward instead of sideways. And then there will be another trap door on the opposite end so you can flick the switches on the generator and plug it in and such as that. So it will be enclosed and it will be locked. Okay, so I've decided I'm gonna fiberglass this enclosure. So I built this kind of wood form around this steel base. And basically what I'm going to do is wrap this wood in like a polyester fleece, and then I can soak it in resin and start laying fiberglass cloth on top of that. That way I'll have a nice kind of formed arch top to shed the rain, and once it's all cured I'll be able to cut out my little trap doors and things for access. Okay, so the enclosure is now wrapped in the polyester fleece, and it's just stapled with a paper stapler because I want this stuff to be easy to pull out. The wood is coming out whenever the fiberglass sets. So I'm going to soak this in resin and then start laying fiberglass cloth strips over this, and then I'll be able to pull this whole wood framed assembly off of the metal bracket, and once it cures then I can pull the wood out from inside the fiberglass enclosure. Okay, so the first coat or the first layer of fiberglass is done. So as soon as this cures I'll pull the cabinet off and do the back side and these corners. And I've got a space heater out here because it's in the 50s. If it gets too cold it'll take way too long for that resin to cure. So if the heater can keep it about 60 or greater in there, this will be hard in a short time and I can get it done pretty quick. Okay, so now this fiberglass generator enclosure is basically complete. What you see, the pink stuff, is body filler. So it was fiberglassed with oriented strand fiberglass on the broad surfaces and the mesh woven stuff on the corners because it takes a corner and a bend much more easily. Now you see the green stuff here is basically a body filler with fiberglass cloth or shreds of cloth in it. And then the pink stuff is like Bondo. And so I'm gonna finish kind of the body filler work on this thing, sand it smooth, prime it, and get it painted. But the inside of the cabinet is, it's pretty stiff. It probably weighs about 8 to 10 pounds, something like that. It's still got plywood, half-inch plywood on the side walls. And the generator enclosure is finished. It's got a trap door for the pull start, trap door to access the plugs and things, lid for the gas, and an exhaust port. And it's got a lock that runs through the 1-inch steel so this enclosure can stay there. Now what we're going to do is test it with just a decibel meter that's on a phone. So ambient noise right now, they're at 50, 52. Now I'm going to start it up. Okay, it's in eco mode. I'm going to get about 22 feet away from it. $58. Gonna get on the intake side of it. About the same, 58. And we'll get on the exhaust side of it. Wake up, phone. Yeah, 58. So let's see what happens when we take eco mode off. Okay, same spot on the exhaust side. 62, 63. Directly behind it. $65. And on the intake side, $62. Not bad.